Sun's peeking through. It's been a couple cloudy days. I'm pretty hyped today because we've gone over 1 petahash officially on the VoskCoin Bitcoin mining farm. And that's a simple thing, but to be honest, in a way, it's easier said than done. Let me bring you into the pod here for a second. So, beep, 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 beep. So this is inside the pod. It's pretty loud, so here's a sweet beat. Oh yeah. Some of those miners are altcoin miners, but a lot of those are Bitcoin miners as well. Before that, I know I've been talking about it a lot recently. I'm hyped about it. Granted, it does have a small leak, it seems like, but I've been liquid cooling my miners. And what does liquid cooling mean? Immersion cooling, all that stuff, whatever, right? So this is the VoskCoin mining shed, which is being upgraded to the immersion shed. And in here, and watch this, I'm gonna remove the top. Editing, baby. But there's 8 Bitcoin miners in there, specifically Antminer S19s. I've chased the efficiency with them. They are performing incredible in here. It's so quiet. It's just been a really good experience. So that's 8 miners, and I have them downclocked. They basically do about 80 or more terahash a second. So effectively, that's like a cool 600 or something terahash a second. And for reference, right, Bitcoin is mined with ASIC miners. ASIC miners are application-specific integrated circuit miners. They're purposeful machines. They're custom computers. All they do is mine the Bitcoin mining algorithm, which is SHA-256, secure hashing algorithm, right? And we do it 256 times. Just kidding, it's 256-bit. With that, right, I mean, these are just little robotic employees. They're passive income monsters. And these BTC miners just a couple years ago sold for $10,000 or more each. And a few months ago, I bought 10 of them from one miner who was exiting the mining game. Unfortunately, he bought in the bull run on those machines and he paid about 10 grand per machine. He sold them to me for about $1,000 per machine. At that time, that was a pretty good deal. Now, that's kind of the going rate for these machines, as it has become more difficult to mine Bitcoin, and there is much more availability and new releases in recent Bitcoin miners, as well as the new series of miners on the horizon, right? The Antminer S19, the whatsminer M60. Canaan is trying to keep up, but they're not. So there's all these new miners with increased efficiency, right? And efficiency is critical for a few reasons. With efficiency, you can simply mine more Bitcoin or really have a higher hash rate at a lower electricity cost. This is especially critical for me as I don't have the most competitive electric rate by any means. It's why the end game for me is taking this field that we farm and grabbing a couple acres for solar panels, generate my own electricity, and effectively get my cost per kilowatt hour down. You get increased density and all that stuff, whatever. But the bottom line is, the point here is that I'm chasing efficiency with my mining farm to give myself the biggest runway. The market can continue to dip or run sideways. I'm ready for it. But I'm really proud to have deployed over 1 petahash and tuned all my miners on efficiency. And why am I so excited about 1 petahash a second, right? So effectively, current generation miners, you could say, are roughly about 100 terahash per second per miner. So 1 petahash is essentially 10 miners in the current era. In the next generation, it's going to be more like 7-ish miners. So when I bought the 10 miners, one of them didn't work. The second I plugged it in, the power supply was like, it was so audible that I in a way kind of felt like I was like I was seeing like some kind of cartoony animated lightning bolt run across the miner. So one of my 10 miners that I bought in that deal didn't work. That would have just sent me straight to 1 petahash a second. So with some of my other miners, I did breach that 1 petahash a second goal. But I've really kind of been thinking about the current landscape, the Bitcoin halving that's coming, and kind of where I want to take the farm, what I need to do, and what I need to do to get there, right? Because that is the Digital Shovel Mini Pod M300. They're moving to a new model, I believe called the S300, and they also have a new version coming out, another new model that's basically half the size as that one. For me on single phase electricity, or it would be about 1/3 capacity if you deployed that on 3-phase. The point here being, it's a pretty cool machine. I've had a couple issues with it, but I'm thankful that they sent it to us to review. I mean, it's been a really fun opportunity, and it really diversified the mining farm. You know, other than all of the Amish sheds I always convert into all this crazy crypto stuff. So, you know, that thing's kind of near capacity, so I really need to make some changes and figure out where I want to go as I chase the dreams of 2 petahash a second. And how much further am I really going to take Bitcoin mining? Because I think right now, you know, I'm competing against major mining farms. I'm competing against publicly traded companies. I'm competing against $1 million portfolios. You know, I am the little dude surrounded by behemoths. It's difficult, right? And that's where I kind of turn my focus back to the immersion mining shed over here. So my thought is, so right now I have about 19, or not about, I have 19 Bitcoin miners. And I'm going to deploy another immersion setup. It's not going to be another DCX kit. As cool as that one is, I want to try some different setups because while it may not be the best thing for my actual VoskCoin mining branch of the farm, it is, one, I think it's fun, interesting, it helps me make better content. And VoskCoin is a weird mashup of, you know, I'm here to be a content creator, make videos, make reviews, have fun, bring you guys the best, you know, resources and insights that I possibly can, while also building out my own mining farm. There's a duality with VoskCoin, right? There's the content creation side and there's the mining farm. I love them both. They're both a lot of fun. I have passion in both. Just gonna continue pursuing both. They're mutually beneficial, which I'm very thankful for. So looking around in here, you know, I had my original plan, long story short, scrapped it, we're moving on from that. Reusing what I can, you know, notice the outlets over there. They weren't ran for this, they were just over there, so that's kind of why we deployed the container or the enclosure in that corner. I'm going to deploy another immersion kit, which I should have within a week or two, which will be really exciting. And I'm also exploring another immersion kit, which I'll probably just put on the side over here. I got a little workbench out here until I get VoskCoin HQ, which is our, you know, big garage field building situated. But the bottom line is, you know, I'm running and gunning, dealing with what I got as I always do, and just trying to make things nice and tidy and refine the setup as I go. As I add more and more mining rigs, I have more and more maintenance and things to do. So one of my next items, just want to make sure these PDUs are good to go, and I need to get a spare second. But I'm going to grab these, I'm going to bolt them into the wall, kind of tidy this up. I'm going to take this switch, I'm going to bolt that into the wall, tidy it up, and then that'll also have enough ports where I can run additional miners over here in the next deployment that I'm planning for. And I'll just kind of go from there. I'll probably run another Ethernet from that to the next switch and put something over here. I'm going to put the workbench up and put a shelf in here and just have some spare parts and, you know, just... I'm chasing dreams of some organization, right? I mean, we got spare power supplies in here, spare control boards, hashboard testers, and just trying to level up and not be so vulnerable if something breaks or goes down or whatever. You see, I spent like a whole, you know, see, I got a little bit of painting on. I'd like to paint the interior in here white and cover up this radiant barrier just because I don't like the silver, especially with all the lights and any kind of camera video work stuff, but it's no big deal. Just sometimes I like just having something fun, simple, and like mindless to do. Crypto oftentimes is just so heavy, like especially mentally, and just having something simple. I can't believe I'd say this. My dad.
Are you winning, son?
Dad, are you proud of me? I like mowing the lawn now. Because it's you know, just a simple, like, mindless grunt style thing to do, and deal with a lot of heavy stuff all the time. So but my point here being, right, is like, so I'm really happy to have 1 petahash deployed. Part of the reason I'm kind of celebrating that now, which is a bit late, is I'm approaching, I'm not at 2 petahash a second yet, but I'm getting there. And again, for reference, that's basically 20 miners. And I did say I had 19 deployed, but that with a more efficiency-minded setup. But I've had problems with the pod this year with one of the PDUs having an issue. Long story short is we fixed it, so that's been good to go. But I had a lot of downtime, and while I on paper had reached 1 petahash a while ago, it was only about a month and a half ago at most, probably about a month and a half ago, where I got everything kind of fixed up, repaired. Huge shout out again to BMA for help with that, and just am able to consistently, actually steadily mine, right? So I got a bunch of miners running in the pod. Got 8 miners running in here. Gonna move some more of those miners in here and dunk them. Gonna grab a couple more miners, but I'm gonna be very cautious, right? Be very cautious. There's the dry cooler, by the way. So basically it kind of functions like a radiator. So that's cooling the oil in the immersion pod you're seeing sitting in the corner over there. But I need to be careful just rapidly expanding as the halving is coming, which will cut Bitcoin mining profitability in half. But historically, halvings predate new all-time highs. I mean, I think eventually things are going to be fine. And I'm hodling the coin I'm mining. But this is starting to be a very expensive operation to run, where I'm spending several $1,000s a month in electricity. And once I really kind of max out all my infrastructure in here, my electricity bill will be $10,000 a month. So I've got to mine $10,000 of coin, and I would have to dump it just to break even on my actual running cost. That's not even taking into account, wanting to get some return on investment on things. Obviously, a profit to any degree, or even just simply stacking some BTC, which is the end game, the dream, the goal in every way, shape, and form. There are some other coins I like, obviously, as well, but it's over the years, the longer you survive in crypto, you just become more and more of a Bitcoin lover. Not that I haven't always loved it, but I mean, you get burned in the shitcoin den, and you're like, I never should have left you, Bitcoin. I miss you. Will you have me back? And of course, you can always come back, but the price may be higher. Running your own Bitcoin miners is quite an experience, but it may not be the right experience for everyone. But perhaps you want to participate in Bitcoin mining without actually running your own Bitcoin miners. Enter VoskMiners. They are a mining hosting facility. You can just head over there, check out a miner, and they will deploy it directly to your own mining pool account. They even hooked up a miner for me to see, and it's hashing away in my own personal mining pool with the payouts going directly to my Bitcoin wallet. Learn more about them with a link out in the video description below. So what's next for me? I've got a microbt whatsminer on the way. I'm going to grab another Bitmain Antminer. I'm going to grab an S21 when the opportunity arises. This is kind of a fun timestamp. I need to run the achievement unlocked again on this. Sometimes I contemplate just messing around and slowing down a little bit. I'm always so go that I never really celebrate any sort of progress or victory, because the second I get something done, I'm kind of looking at the next thing. But I think it'd be fun to throw up on the wall right here the date that we consistently hit 1 petahash a second, some kind of little fun plaque or something, and then bam, there's another one for 2 petahash. Do something else for we hit 100 miners, or we mined, our first whole Bitcoin with this farm, and just fun milestones. It's kind of weird. I've noticed, especially as I get older, time just blitzes by, and when you're young, I was reading an article that kind of reinforced this stuff the other day too. It's when you're young, you have all these milestones, you're a freshman, you're a sophomore, oh, congratulations, you graduated high school, oh, you achieved this sport event thing, you won the state championship, or you went to districts, you got good grades this quarter, you made honor roll this year, whatever, you get the point. You get your first job, you get your next job, you go to college, graduate, get a degree, again, whatever. Buy your first house, all that stuff. And then, as you kind of get older and, more stable and whatever, it's you have less and less just milestones and really just landmarks, and your whole memory starts to blend together. And then for a lot of people, they have a kid. and then their kid really starts to consume their life, and the milestones are going to be with their kid, like, oh yeah, Timmy was 3 then, or oh, that's when Timmy started elementary school, or oh, that's when, you know, whatever, right? And it's fine, you know, to focus on someone else and you know, be a great parent. That's incredible, and you know, I hear that's the best thing. I couldn't be more thankful that I have the opportunity to be a Doge dad. I love Tail. She's been the biggest blessing in my life ever. She's incredible. I aspire to be a human dad one day as well, but you know, I'm just trying to think how I can have a little bit more fun and slow things down, because you know, I just operate in such a go, always on to the next one, and it does have some burnout. So you know, if this can kind of resonate with anyone, it's just kind of to remind yourself to celebrate some. You know, maybe milestones may not be as exciting as you want them to be, or other people may not get it, but welcome. You know, if it's cool to you, if it matters to you, then celebrate that dub. And the other milestone I really want to hit is 1 million subscribers. And it's not a shameless plug for you to subscribe. Sure, that would be cool and great, but like, I'm really serious. Like, that's like been a lifelong goal of me since I got into any sort of video content. And you know, I had some video endeavors prior to the VoskCoin channel, but it, you know, became very serious eventually with VoskCoin. But ultimately, I don't want to just like aimlessly celebrate. You can get real complacent that way real quick. But I do want to be thankful for the progress, appreciate it, and you know, maybe just, I hate to say this, I'm always like, you know, let's burn it up, let's blaze the trail, but like, just kind of slow it down a little bit. I want to be a little bit happier. I want a little bit more work-life balance, stuff like that, and I want to be, you know, proud and you know, take some snapshots of the milestones of what I'm doing. So I'm really proud to have 1 petahash on Bitcoin mining deployed out here. I'm really proud to not only, you know, be close to 2 petahash, but have a tangible plan to get there. And I have bigger dreams, you know, with the mining farm eventually and stuff like that. And you know, some people are like, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Or like, how come you're not doing solar yet? It's just kind of like, I'm doing what I can. You know, it's kind of a lot all the time. And I wanted to get out here, get my gear deployed, get in the game, start stacking some coin, work towards 3-phase, work towards the solar deployment, and you know, just go from there. Maybe, you know, honestly, like on paper, it probably would have made sense to just come out here and just start deploying solar panels and then work backwards. Maybe, but I think this is more fun, it's more interesting. Probably the lesser of the better other business decision we just talked about. But I mean, damn, I do what I do. And as long as I'm still always doing a bunch of stuff, I don't really fault myself all that much. And I have definitely embarked on a bit of a side quest. I know this video has been, you know, really Bitcoin focused, as it should be, right? But this green shed is basically my little labor of love DIY data center. You notice there's no holes in it, right? And we're not doing liquid mining in there. That's a mini split on the side. And I mean, it's expensive, but I'm very serious and love redundancy, you know, so bam. There's another one. What's going on here? Why though? So if you don't know, you don't follow, you know, this piece or any of the VoskCoin YouTube channel stuff, then you will notice we got these guys in here. I mean, so yeah, we did collaborate with Evergreen and release our Tails edition. It's a plug and play hard drive miner. I'm not trying to hit you with a random ad or anything like that. That's the orange one. The green ones are the normal models. And then we have some Juicy miners down there. But these are basically plug and play hard drive miners. And it's pretty cool. It's a way I've tried to diversify the mining farm. The bottom line is like, those are plug and play, like, but you can also DIY those rigs, so it's not like a locked ecosystem like some other cryptocurrencies have done, which I have my gripes against. But basically, it's been a fun project to build something like completely out of the realm for Bitcoin, because it doesn't make sense to cool Bitcoin miners with air conditioning or anything like that. You use ambient air, you know, like the pod over there has, or you use immersion mining, like the immersion shed has. So, you know, basically, it's very low power. It's a much longer path to breaking even. The return on investment on those miners are lower than normally Bitcoin miners. But for reference, those miners make something like, I think $20-30 a month right now. Don't hold me to that, but they only cost like less than $5 a month to run and operate. The point is they earn so much more than they burn. And while they are capital intensive, inside of those are hard drives, general purpose hardware that's much more resellable if it comes to that than a Bitcoin miner, because at some point a Bitcoin miner just essentially becomes worthless. It becomes obsolete. It becomes e-waste. Where a 18 terabyte hard drive has a lot of usability, especially in this data heavy era we're in, as we continue to trend towards heavier and heavier or larger and larger content. I mean, even this video is being shot in 4K, and we didn't used to shoot in 4K. We're shooting 4K now. 4K files are massively larger than HD video, which would like be 1080p and things like that. But the bottom line is, I had a lot of fun with this project in particular. It does, in a way, distract me from my main goal, but you know, the gamer in me truly thinks of it just like a very fun, fulfilling side quest, right? You know, did Link need to build his own town in Breath of the Wild? Of course not. But did you enjoy doing it? You probably did if you got into Zelda. The only other thing I want to touch on is I've moved my miners to Brains Pool because I'm using Brains OS on these immersion miners. It's been performing well, and it's allowed me to fine tune these easily, which I definitely enjoy and definitely appreciate. And I went ahead and just moved my other Bitcoin miners there to just have a much easier to manage situation. I've been happy with the returns and all that. It's been a good experience. You know, as I move forward, it'll also make it easier to start producing a Bitcoin mining snapshot monthly, which is something I've always wanted to do, especially as the farm has gotten more and more serious or really developed and deployed out here. On the topic of Chia and hard drive farming, that's something we started a few months ago. So we have these monthly HDD or hard drive mining snapshots where I kind of run through, you know, what a snapshot of the network conditions, how much we mined, and some other things. So you know, it's been fun, and I just enjoy making stuff and data and all that. So I'm a nerd, you know. What else can I say? The sun's killing me though. So as always, we'll see where it goes. If you're still watching this video, you're incredible. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, I appreciate you. If you have any advice, let me know. Advice from our subscribers has been incredible, you know, within the development period of the VoskCoin mining farm and just really the VoskCoin journey in general. So I appreciate you guys that like take the time to think about what I'm doing and offer alternatives and solutions and everything else. The sum of the VoskCoin community, I love saying this, and I totally mean it, is so much just smarter and just talented and just incredible, like compared to like just me, like just one guy. So that's another kind of reason and plug for you to join the VoskCoin Discord server, and if you're old school like me, the VoskCoin Talk forum, and connect with the other community members. You may find your new best friend, or at a minimum some other people that enjoy the same stuff that you probably do if you're watching this video. So peace, thanks for watching.